Monday morning. What we all gonna do today? Yes, yeah. What are we doing today, baby? Christopher. Uh, we'll be homesteading, that's for sure. Currently, my biggest challenge is to keep everything cool. Summers can be really severe in our part of the world, and here in Lowveld of Mpumalanga in South Africa. And this is not an area really known for growing vegetables. There's a lot of citrus and lychees and macadamia and that. It's trees and that type of stuff. But growing vegetables, you need to try and keep it cool. And with a zero budget, so that means I have to be very creative with how to keep a little bit of shade onto the beds. And this method that I'm busy trying to figure out is actually, I think it's working. It's looking better than last year. Well, not looking better, it works better than last year. So I'm thinking of maybe concentrating on just this new section here, getting that under shade, and then I need to rebuild the compost beds on the old beds on the other side behind me. Let me just pan slowly. These are the first beds that went in. There's 49 of them this side, and they have various results, and they're slow, so the nutrients are bound, so I need to get them more active. So I need to get in healthier compost, which I need to produce myself, which takes months. So systematically I'll have to just redo these beds, and in the meantime, I don't know, I'll see what works, what I can plant into it, just to keep it active while I'm busy producing new compost. This is compost here that I am producing currently, but this is way too little for what my needs are, and it is coming along just fine. If you dig into it, the product on the inside is quite good, and so I just need to do more of it, lots of it, and then just redo all these beds. Just put a proper layer, I think about maybe a 3-inch layer into each bed eventually. I've put on a 1-inch layer on a lot of the beds. There is a bit of a better result, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. It's not quite the result I'm having on the other side, that side. So and then also getting rid of all of this plastic. This is plastic from a big corporate farm that does a lot of tunnels, and the plastic has helped me smother out the weeds overall, and now I must get in wood chip walkways, or at least just get some other bio material walkways around the edges here. Take the plastic out, put cardboard box in, and then put some of the compost in there to just smother the weeds and the grasses, and just to make it look a little bit more decent. Now, using what I've got, I have a bed of strawberries in here. Now these strawberries are phenomenal. I got 2 strawberry plants last year, this size, and I've got 70 plants in here, and I've got strawberries all over the garden now. Patches of strawberries, just from, it's been longer than a year and 3 months, and it's just multiplied And over the winter, I had in the hothouse, I had all of these that are in this bed in bigger pots, just to get them to be strong and ready for replanting, which I then subsequently did. But what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to put in these short poles. I have more of the longer poles available that side, but I've got another job for them. So I want to get these strawberries. I want to lift this hoop off of it and get the shade cloth up higher so that I can operate underneath it without needing to get in there, and lifting up the sides. So I'm going to just be using these short poles, and then because the soil is so hard, not tilling or anything like that, and this premises is a couple of years old and there's no earth been moved here and the soil's become really hard, I'm battling to get this, if you can look at the head of this, as I've been slamming it with a hammer into the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chase this piece of metal into the ground first, and then pull it out, and then stick that stick into the ground. The 4 poles are in and on the place, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run from the top of these poles. I'm just going to run either wire or string down to the little one, and then I'll just take this shade cloth and I'll mount it on the side here to get the best shade onto the strawberries. This is the only bed that I'm putting strawberries under shade. Other places I'm leaving it in the open, so I'll see what the result is after, say, this season. Was it a good thing to have them in shade, or a good thing just to like let them grow in this African heat? So but I can tell you this much, these red letters are so thankful that I'm putting them. This bed is coming up horribly bad, but I direct sowed it, and they came up beautifully. Now that they're in the shade, this time of the day they would normally be lying down and be looking like, oh, really horrid. And since I put up the shade, they're really looking good, you know. So they're very thankful. The carrots are very thankful. These tomatoes are fantastic. I am so impressed with these tomatoes. Here's a sucker that I'm busy cultivating, that I want to make a plant out of, and it's actually working. I just don't know what the result is going to be. You know, are you going to have the same yield off of these suckers that I'm making plants from, as you would from a plant that came from a seed, or would the yield be lower? I don't know. And I can guarantee you, I'm not going to be weighing any tomatoes from different plants to see if the yields are higher or lower. I'll see if I can judge it by the eye, and if it doesn't bother me, then I'll just continue as is. And if it does bother me, I'll start weighing it. I've got a couple of plants in that are from suckers, and I've marked them, and I just want to see that this is a sucker I just stuck into the ground. I didn't cultivate it or anything, I just stuck it in here. This is marigold, by the way, growing around it. There is the tomato plant over there. It's still alive, and I did this on the 21st, so it's been a week. I'm just trying to look, where's the ones that I cultivated, and then it's so, what is this? No, it's not that. I think there's one. There's 3 of them actually. Here's one. This was cultivated. This is number 2 of 3, and yeah, it's been in the ground for some time. The 6th of the 9th is when I stuck it into the ground. Oh well, it's still alive. They're probably just pushing out roots. I'll probably catch some speed at some other stage. But when I do a whole bed, and I'm planning on doing whole beds of tomatoes, I'm panning the whole time. Here underneath this shade, in between the onions. There are onions in these beds. I don't think you can make them out on the screen, but there's young onions in there. And yeah, I'm going to stick those tomatoes in here, and obviously banding again over there in between those beans that are not succeeding. You know what? On this hose matter, I think it's time for a new hose. All right, these poles are in at the strawberries. I'm just gonna secure something from the lower pole down here across up to the top there, and then just put this net here onto that and make sure the shade falls onto the bed appropriately. And then yeah, these strawberries are going to look fantastic. Okay, I was hiding in the house now. It is hot out here. Christopher is enjoying the swimming pool, and here we can see the shade that is now over the strawberry plants, and it is working fantastic. As much as I am enjoying this shade on these plants, and the fact that I can move here and have access to these plants is fantastic. I approximately have 100 square meters now. Oh, I have a little more. 110 square meters under this shade roofing of mine. Yeah, if I had the resources, everything would have been in the shade right now. But it's working well, and if I look at how everything flourished underneath this shade, I'm pretty excited to get everything under shade. Fixing leaking hoses. Yeah, that's what happens when you'll see this one's got, I'm going to put in two joints there, and there's another joint over there. That's 3. There's a joint here. There's 4. There's a joint here. There's 5. I don't think there's any further down. 5. And then there's a joint down there as well. That would be 6. Where's the 6? Here it is. Here's the 6th joint. Right there. So that's what happens when you drag the hose over the driveway like that, and you spray that side, or come from that side and you spray this side, and the car comes in, and then it doesn't break immediately, but like after a month or two, you notice, yeah, that hose was out over the driveway and somebody drove over it. That's why we have so many joints in this particular hose, because apparently this is the one that likes to sneak into the driveway and be driven on. Alright, conclusion for today. Finished up with that shade nets over there with the strawberries underneath them, and then I was busy cleaning up the walkway there behind me, putting in a new cardboard box and some new compost on top of that to get to smother the grasses there that's coming up with spring in the air. Obviously all the other bits and pieces that I have to attending to the chickens. My chickens don't want to give me their eggs. They're full of nonsense. Yes, we were having such a good time over the last couple of months, me feeding them, getting eggs, everything is happy. Now I've got 5 of my I think 16 hens that don't want to get up. They are on their eggs, and I'm not allowed to touch the eggs. Okay, so we're gonna have, in about 3 or 4 weeks time from now, we will be having some chicklets. Lots of little chickens running around. That's going to be beautiful. I love small chickens. They're awesome. Blessings to you all. I don't know. Love everybody. Just be kind. Just love. Just respect. And blessings from Africa. Ciao.